Voice of the Plane. I hope that you are awesome. I've just come inside from walking the dog, so I'm all like hot and sweaty. But I just felt that I needed to come on here, onto YouTube specifically, and I'll probably share this wherever, but there is this sensation that things have gone very different. I don't know if you're noticing it within yourself, but perhaps you've been in a place where you've been waiting for change, or you've been waiting for someone to change, or you've been waiting for something to change. Whatever it is, perhaps the way that you were looking at it in the past wasn't really working for you. And perhaps you've been in a state where you've just been letting this go. And suddenly it's all turning around. So it's almost like the more you try to push something to happen, the more that you are stressed about something, or the more that you are concerned about something, the more nothing changes, right? But perhaps you have recently decided to let go and allow, and this is bringing in the change that you've been wanting to see, that you've been looking for. I have also noticed that there have been changes in what it is that I'm actually seeing, as far as looking at social media or whatever. Some things that were always there, I'm not seeing those people or those things, and it's more funny things that I'm seeing, or whatever that's coming up in my feed, right? Which is awesome, because who doesn't like laughing, right? So what has happened here, and this is something that I've been talking about for some time, is that the choices are being made for you to step into the timeline that is more in line with what it is you're trying to achieve. And less so you're seeing things that are taking you away from that are pulling you away from your purpose, so to speak. And there's just been, it's been really interesting, because there have been a lot of people that are kind of saying the same thing, and maybe it's a connection with the planets, Pluto in Aquarius, or Uranus in Gemini, and what that means for you, right? But I also really just think that there's been a huge shift collectively in what we value as our time, and what we're valuing in our space, what's worth our time, what's worth our energy, as I'm always saying to you. And a focus has come about where, we are really beginning to become in alignment with what I call the golden timeline. If you focus on the golden timeline, whatever that is for you, it's like your golden time. What if everything that you've ever wanted, you already had, right? So it's not like quantum jumping. This is more becoming in alignment without having some kind of expectation other than it's already happening, right? And as we all are doing more of this work, this is what flame sovereignty is. Flame sovereignty is making a decision that you already are where you want to be, that you already have all that you're seeking, and that you are already equipped with everything to happen within you immediately. It is no longer about looking outside of the self for answers. Now, I'm going to continue to be here, and I'm going to continue to lead this as we move forward. How important this is, how life-changing this is, how I have witnessed things happen over and over and over again extremely quickly. How people who've taken or done one of the transmissions and, they didn't know what to expect, and their life changed immediately. Because when that part of you that is connected with the essence of all that is begins to unravel itself on an inner level, you have no choice but to change, and life change to accommodate what you are now accepting as your reality. It's so much more than that. In fact, on the 26th of July, soon you'll find a link to come and join a free Zoom. I was going to do this on YouTube and Facebook and stream it all at the same time, but it won't have the same power, I don't think. So you will just have to keep an eye out for the free Zoom, and it will have a transmission and explanation in there that'll blow your mind. Okay? The era of spirituality is changing, whether you're ready for that or not. It's changing anyway. The reason for that is because of the outdated notion that certain people know more than others, or certain people receive more than others. And it's just that energy of someone's better than you all of the time. And that's not really the truth of how it is. And people fall into it because they're looking for someone outside of themselves to have all of the knowledge and, hey, oh, okay, I'll accept it because such and such is saying it, right? And with this work, and I wouldn't be a very good teacher if I didn't evolve either and teach you. But with this work, it becomes very simple. It does mean that you have to let go of things that validated the truth to you all of the time. So when you do tarot cards, for example, it was always something that was validating to people. Because if they were feeling something and then the cards were saying it, okay, it must be correct, And so we're losing this connection between having to be shown, and instead we're going into an energy of just feeling. After all, your feelings have been your gauge your whole lifetimes. All of your lifetimes. Now, the problem with a lot of people is they ignore their feelings and then they end up with problems. They ignore their feelings and then they end up in the wrong relationships. They ignore their feelings and they end up doing too much for other people. And now we're relying on those wholeheartedly. Now, will I use crystals to help you? Sure. Will I use oracle cards to help you? Yeah, why not? Will I use scrolls to help you? Yes. Until it gets to the point where you're actually literally just going to listen and tune in for yourself and know what you need to do. There's no question anymore. There's no shadow. Does that word shadow? Shadow of doubt, right? It's a shadow of doubt. It's something that's negative that creeps up. As we step into the Lion's Gate, I'm going to tell you right now, here's a heads up. There are some people that are going to channel the wrong things. It's going to be quite dangerous what starts happening. So I am going to do a Lion's Gate's transmission on the 7th. I'm not going to do it on the 8th of the 8th. I'm going to do it on the 7th to stop the false portal from coming in so widely. That's what I'm going to do. And that's because I'm tuning into those things. So you'll have to keep an eye out for those links, which I'll have probably in a post on here on YouTube or Facebook post or whatever as well, right? The truth of the matter is that there hasn't been a real energy of spirituality for a really, really long time anyway, because people refuse to do the work themselves, which is what it was all meant to be, your own personal journey. And unfortunately, a lot of things were corrupted and exploited, and things were changed, and the message was changed. And, some of the galactic messages were false, and, there's all kinds of things that you can get into if you really want to as well. Luckily for myself, I've always been connected with protection. It's something I've always done. So therefore, anything that I was connecting in with had to resonate wholeheartedly within me, or else it was gone. So when I step into this flame sovereignty, I'm telling you now that I do so because I completely believe in what I'm doing, wholeheartedly. So if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. I would continue to sit back and, you know, continue to give daily messages with the cards and continue to try to shine a light through all of the BS and hope that somebody or something would happen where someone would come around and purchase something, you know, or whatever. And those days of servitude for me are over. It doesn't mean I'm not doing things for the world anymore, but I'm doing it in my own way. I'm no longer seeing my worth as to how much money might be in the bank. And I've done this and I've trusted myself for a very, very long time. Not many people can work on their own and work for themselves and continue to try and do it in these times, especially since 2020 and all the freaking nonsense and all of the bullshit that happened at that time, and how, you know, people who were really trying to help you were getting squashed, laughed at and ridiculed. And those mimic days of all that false energy, false news, false flag events, all this kind of BS is over. If you're ready for the next phase of humanity, you're stepping into it already. You're listening to this recording and you're already stepping over into something better for yourself. If you're not seeing all the same old BS in your feeds, you've already stepped over, don't you see? If you want to be in the highest vibration, why would you stay around low vibrational work, which means everybody's expecting something from you and give nothing in return? Or listening to complaining all of the time? You know, if you're listening to complaining all of the time and nobody does anything about it, then you're just a sponge. You're just someone that people use because they don't actually want to get any better. They just want to talk about their problems. They don't actually want to put anything into use in their life. They just want to complain about it and complain and complain. For me, luckily, 90% of the people that have worked with me or had healing or shamanic work or whatever, 90% of them over all of these years have decided to make a go of their life and push forward and heal. But there is a 10% of people who literally came to complain, to sabotage, to upset, you know, to the point where some lady completely destroyed my finances for a long time because of her antics, and nobody knew about it. It's not something that I'm, you know, going to talk about too much, but it's that kind of thing. You're like, here you are giving, and then someone takes advantage like that. And not only that, but it just had a ripple effect through, you know, a lot of things in my life. And people do that on purpose. So I have had the trials and tribulations just like anyone else, that, you know, your normal personal life stuff going on, and houses and dogs and moving and going across another state and then going across to another country and another country. Like, I've done it all. And I'm actually in this real peaceful, happy energy right now, because even though there is more going on in my life than you can imagine, there's just so much. Like, every single day is full. And that's not talking about work. Work's always there. But my life and everything in it is full every single day. And yet, so much more peaceful. Isn't that funny? Whereas in my past, I'd just be chasing my tail all of the time, trying to keep up with everything, trying to keep up with home, trying to keep up with healing and clients, and trying to get this all happening. Study and students and all of this. When you step into your flame sovereignty, you no longer give a crap about everything else that was weighing you down. You don't, because it doesn't belong in the reality that you're creating. It doesn't belong in a golden timeline. Nonsense and people's complaining and moaning and staying in their own circle and bubble and refusing to get out of it and expecting others to do it for them doesn't wash in a golden timeline. You all have seen me for, you know, years here on YouTube. It's amazing to me when I look back at all the situations I had found myself in the past and still continue to try to help you all. And now to go into this evolved energy, to step into something that is bold because no one's doing it. No one gets it yet. You all will, but no one quite gets it yet. Eventually there will be people that are doing this work that have been taught to do this work and will go off and do it. Eventually there'll be people who are like, I remember. I know what the hell this is. You know, I'm Lemurian or Atlantean, and here I am. I'm from Sirius. I'm from, you know, the Pleiades. And yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, the information. I know exactly what's going on, and they will be able to go off and also teach. And it's more about not teaching is not even the right word anymore. It's getting you to remember. It's waking up something dormant, something hidden, something that's fractured, something that might have cost you your life in the past. And the one who went first, you know, BDevine, here she goes, going first into something, and people go, ooh, what is she doing? Oh, where's the tarot card readings every day? What's this stuff? You know, and I don't care because I know how it sounds and I know that it seems too easy. That's the point. Your whole spiritual journey is actually quite simple, but people make it really difficult for themselves. But it also is about bringing your cellular structure, your, you know, your face, your eyes, your skin, your hair, whatever it is for you, starts to become alive because there are no longer dormant aspects of yourself. You're fully alive. And I'm telling you, my youngest son in Australia, he rings me just about every day. This is someone that we spent so many years apart. It was so painful. I went through 13 years of court and, you know, having a result at the end where I actually won the court case, but I wouldn't allow my son to be separated from his life. Now he is calling me all of the time. He wants me to grab these cards back here and he wants me to do cards for him. That's cool because he's in a new spiritual journey and I'm able to get advice to him in that way. The mind-blowing connections that he's having on his own. Now, if you're in a situation where, you know, you're without your child or you're missing your child or you haven't seen your child for a long time, this is your call to wake up, because your child is the one, I'm telling you now, that will find out for themselves without you having to do anything. And because they understand that you're the one that they can rely on, that you'll always be there, that you're the kind one, that you're the loving one, they know that. They have to align while they're younger with the one that they're more afraid of, unfortunately. But they will figure it out for themselves. And I am living testimony. And this is happening to me day after day after day, where I can help my son, even if it's from a distance at the moment, and he's going to come over to see me here pretty soon. And it's just like, what? All of them are starting to come in line without anybody having to force it, because the energy's changed, because of the work that's been done on this planet, because of the work that's been done on an internal level with many of you. The more people that are actually saying, screw it, I'm not entertaining all of this BS anymore. I'm simply just going to allow an easier pathway for myself. I am going to draw it towards me. There's so many people that are starting to do this, that it's starting to turn our reality into what we want to see. And in 10 years, we're going to look back and go, my God, that was the starting point. That was the starting point of a return for all of us. And there is nothing wrong with my abilities or my capabilities of doing readings or anything. I can just give you the answers without having to use cards. That's just how it is. I can tune into your timeline. I can remove blockages out of your way, show you what they are, explain it to you, shift it from you, explain your past life to you, shift it from you. Connect with the energetic levels of your healing that you've never had before. I can still do all of it and more. I could jump right back into the old servitude anytime I wanted to. Or I can do transmissions for you and you can awaken yourself. That's just how it has to be. And this is different. And this is going out on a limb. And when you start something new in your life, I'm sure nobody understands what you're doing either, right? So therefore, I will be having that free Zoom call on the 26th of July, the opening of the Lion's Gate. And in the middle of it, not at the peak, but the day before the peak, I will also do another protective transmission. In between, you can also purchase your own personal transmission, or there are digital downloads that you'll get to listen to in your own time and space that I'm working on at the same time, which also will include some more healing and things like this to help you understand what's going on. Have you noticed? Have you noticed a difference in what you're seeing, what you're coming across? Have you noticed a difference in how you're speaking, who you're speaking to, and what you're speaking about? Tell stories, put your content out there, start being yourself, and see what happens, okay? The truth will always win. It always comes forward. We don't need to convince, we just are, okay? And that's how I feel about all of this for you all. I want to explain it to you, but I don't want to convince you of anything. It's something that has to be felt, something that you have to say, my God, I know there's something more. I knew there was something else. It can't be just the same old stuff with spirituality. It can't be. Well, that's because it's not. We've only been getting a smidgen of what we're capable of. And now the world is going to start seeing, I'm telling you. The world will see. So, until the next video, I'm always open to whatever questions you have, okay? Don't forget, try your own transmission. There's one there that's $22.22 where you can just try and get a taster of what it's like, how you feel, how your life changes afterwards. And then there are more specific ones that you can also get for yourself. Not to mention the Light Leadership Academy is still there. Obviously, there's free courses, there's membership options, there's training in there that you're not going to get anywhere else. So, I hope to see you somewhere, connect with you on some level. And yeah, like I said, leave your questions and I will talk to you really soon. Okay? Bye for now.